And joining us now, two veteran Pennsylvania lawmakers, Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean and Democratic Congressman Brendan Boyle. So, Congresswoman Dean, your district is in Montgomery County outside Philadelphia. It's a key battleground inside the battleground. How has the switch from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris changed the dynamic in the race among your voters?
You're right. My district is Montgomery and Berks counties, a key part of the Keystone State. You can feel on the ground palpably the enthusiasm, the excitement, the registering of voters. People are very excited for the promise of Kamala Harris as president and Tim Walz as vice president because of her accomplishment, frankly, her legislative accomplishment, her accomplishment as vice president, and her plan for the future. There's real excitement on the ground. I've been to many campaign launches over the course of weekends, and we're seeing all new people coming to this fight because my voters, my constituents know the stakes are so high, as that person from Pittsburgh said. The stakes could not be higher, and we have seen Donald Trump in office, and my district doesn't want to return to that.
Although the race is still tied, Congressman Boyle, according to a new CBS News YouGov poll, among likely voters in Pennsylvania, Vice President Harris and Donald Trump are tied at 50 each. So how does the president break that tie?
Well, we knew that Pennsylvania was going to be close. It was decided. Yeah, it was in 2016 when it was Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. The state was decided by 0.5 of 1%, unfortunately, in Donald Trump's favor. In 2020, Joe Biden was able to reverse that, but only won by 1 point. So we know that Pennsylvania is almost predestined to be a close election, coming down to basically one vote out of every 100. I think in the end, however, people are going to choose to turn the page and give their vote to Kamala Harris rather than the same old tired song and dance of Donald Trump. It's the same story as it was a decade ago when he descended down that golden escalator. It's the same shtick, the same spiel, and people are tired of it.
Congresswoman Dean, Harris has been in Pennsylvania now for 4 days for debate prep. That gives her more opportunities to appeal to voters here. She went out a couple of times. She was photographed with women, each time like in the spice shop. So that was a tactic. What are you hearing from suburban women in your district about Kamala Harris?
We just had a terrific event for Women for Kamala, African-American Women for Kamala, lots of women for Kamala. And I'm a mother and a grandmother. I have 4 grandchildren, 3 of whom are girls, 12 down to 3. And I have to tell you, this is entirely about them. It is about our freedoms, their reproductive freedoms. It is about voting rights. It is about expansion of freedoms. And so women are very excited. And I will say men, too. We had a lot of men in that event for Women for Kamala. We're very excited about making sure we turn the page, as Congressman Boyle said, on the darkness that is Donald Trump, on the plan 2025. We know what they want. They want a nationwide abortion ban. Even as Donald Trump tries to distance himself from that manifesto of 900 pages of dystopian darkness. So women are going to be central to this election. I'm pleased that the vice president is in Pennsylvania. We're going to be the Keystone State again. And I'm pleased that this debate is in Philadelphia, in your district, at the Constitution Center, the absolute perfect setting for a future that looks bright, a future worthy of our founders, a future worthy of our children.
And Congressman Boyle, though, most voters say, a large number of voters say that they still don't know who she is, what she represents, what her policies are. Is her game plan tonight, should her game plan be to get specific about policies, try to ignore the taunts, and let people know where she stands on big issues?
I think that's right. You know, let's not forget, she's only been the Democratic presidential nominee for a little over a month. So it's not surprising that, having not gone through the normal primary process, that there would still be some people who are just unfamiliar with either her biography or where she is on the issues. That's also emblematic of any vice president. George Herbert Walker Bush faced this in 1988. Remember, he had to combat quote, the wimp factor, even though he was a bona fide World War II hero, but people didn't know it, and he'd been vice president for 8 years. So this is natural. She will, tonight, have an opportunity in front of more than 60 million Americans to talk about who she is, where she comes from, and what she's fighting for. I have no doubt Kamala Harris will take advantage of this golden opportunity tonight.
And Congresswoman Dean, one of the big, tough issues for her, because she inherits all of the policies of Joe Biden, is the war in Gaza. Israel has just carried out a deadly airstrike overnight on a tent camp. It was designated as a safe area for Gazans. There are no real shelters there. How is the vice president going to thread the needle on Gaza?
Well, there's an awful lot that she brings to the table, whether it is about our economy and the success of our economy under Biden-Harris. But you're absolutely right. The critical war in Gaza, the desperate need to get a ceasefire and the hostages home, living and dead, and to end the suffering in Palestine, in the Gaza Strip, as well as in the West Bank. I think if you take a look at how she spoke about this critical global issue, the safety and security of Israel, making sure everybody knows that what took place on October the 7th is the responsibility of Hamas. Hamas terrorists raped and murdered and burned people alive. She sadly will, I think, be a really important part of what took place in terms of getting us toward a diplomatic solution. But it's Hamas's responsibility. Let's not forget that.